Okay, it's day 338. This is part two. Even though it says 337, I'm going to roll ahead. It's 338. So, if you haven't seen previous episodes about Dumbo dropping, a good friend of the Wassermans and a good friend of Imran's, the UAE ambassador, exchanges some email that came out in The Intercept about Dumbo dropping. Dumbo dropping is when you fentanyl a girl to where she faints, and then she's gang made love to by a group of diplomats. And they talk about this in email going back and forth between them, the UAE ambassador, who's good friends with Casey Wasserman, by the way, has a nice helicopter they ride around in. But anyway, they talk about this Dumbo dropping and inviting, groups of people to Dumbo drop these girls. They even go as far as having a form where it says insert dumb girl's name here. I consent to being hit. So that's going to be the background of this. This is not anti-Muslim. This is not anti-Pakistani. This is not anti-Pakistani ISI. This is anti-Pakistani ISI Dumbo dropping spy ring in Congress. This is anti-Dumbo dropping spy ring in Congress. Okay. Now, there's a new kid in town, Anonymous Scrunchies, A Scrunchies. And this stuff right out of the chute is so brilliant. I know who it is immediately. It's just somebody who's just by the signature is so incredibly smart that I know it's Lori. She's just too freaking smart. And she figured out, she went, in the movie, The Infiltrators, they used the cleaning system, the heating and ventilation system for storing all their surveillance equipment. And this is also where you would put a fentanyl system if you were going to try to fentanyl the folks in the home. The reason is you don't want to go in on a raid where everybody's, got guns ready and shooting back at you. You want to go in when everybody's asleep. That was the original reason for DHS in developing this technology. This technology goes actually all the way back to the 50s when CIA was, fentanyling Russian spies in their hotel rooms. But unfortunately, like I said before, this goes back to the Agamemnon and Achilles having that discussion, and Troilus and Cressida. The things that we develop these things for can be misused, and the misuse is the fentanyl, where you have a little bit of fentanyl stream come in when the air kicks on and knocks everybody out in the house. And again, if you put this in the hands of people that are unscrupulous or have a revenge motive against the United States, you've got real problems. Well, then there's this address here. The 611, and I'm giving full credit to Lori here, she's smarter than me. 611, the 111, this is your Pakistani 111. This is an anti-Pakistani 111 Dumbo dropping video, okay? So I'm very Pakistani 111 Dumbo dropping anti-video here. But this is where Rao Abbas grew up, 6111. So it's just in the name of somebody else, but that's where he grew up on Pioneer in Springfield. So I believe that you're going to find that Rao Abbas graduated from Annandale High School, and he was at that Manitoba address, and that's how he knows Imran. And Rao Abbas is doing this nasty stuff, whereas Imran's kind of doing the more higher levels spy stuff. So here's more. I think if you want to look at Anonymous Scrunchies, but here's 4 or 5 key tweets that she made this morning. I'm just guessing it's her because it's so good. If you watch the movie The Infiltrators, the movie The Infiltrators is about Amjad Awan. Amjad Awan is the guy who started the Pakistani bank, who then laundered all the money through Noriega, who was Noriega's banker, who then laundered the money through Mark Rich in southern Florida, who then laundered the money through BCCI, Banks of Crooks and Criminals, in Luxembourg. So this is the first case that comes up when you go down to the District of Columbia courtroom and type in Awan. This is the first case that comes up. Now, there is speculation that Imran Awan is related to Amjad Awan, could even be the son of Amjad Awan. And I believe Amjad Awan lives in southern Florida. So the southern Florida connection here has been going on a long, long time. If you watch the movie The Infiltrator, it talks about how you infiltrate into a gang. The funny part about this is that, did we really infiltrate the gang, or did we create the gang, and then when it was time to change Noriega out, or the other guy, the broom guy, Escobar, when it was time to change Escobar out and bring in Noriega, Isn't that what really happened? So anyway, it's all really basically the same system, and this kind of interdiction is kind of a show. But anyway, this is great because the infiltrator shows this HVA system being used for storing all the surveillance equipment. And I don't know if they show the fentanyl releasing or not in the movie. I don't remember that. It's been a while since I've seen the movie. But rent the movie if you really want to understand. But this explains Imran Awan coming over and changing the filter all the time, every 2 months. The cameras are full. This is another area Jason Goodman could add a lot of light to, because the cameras get full if they have so much digital memory. Now, of course, they're probably transmitting to that Cox router in the basement as they go, but this is to compromise different diplomats or people in purchasing in Fort Belvoir. I'll show you later how close Fort Belvoir is to the Sprayer House, and again, I am not the one receiving mail and packages from American Innovations, which sells the spy cameras. I'm not the one receiving or creating a mail called Miss Jalakwa to sort of a honeypot, sort of enticing people to that location, right? So I'm not the people who say Zoe Ann Freitag is the registered agent receiving registered mail at this location. So the Sprayer location becomes very important. And then, so this is the next key question. Beautiful Jalakwa here, I think I may have misspelled it, Jaquea, excuse me, Jaquea, yeah. Beautiful Jaquea here. At this point, I have to warn her because I think she's a victim. And again, just like I would warn any victim if I thought that they were the victim of some kind of crazy idea. This is the Operation Underground Railroad again, where first we go out and we buy a child. Well, that's how you do undercover, right? And then the child is raped by 12 people. Well, if we don't get the film of them raping the child, then we won't, be able to get the convictions. Nah, I don't think that's law enforcement. I think that's entrapment, and I think using innocent victims is another bad thing. Now, all I have to do is lure her to the house with maybe drugs, or say, hey, let's smoke some pot or whatever. Then turn the fentanyl on. She gets tired, and then the fun times start. At 2 a.m. So I don't know. That's why the light is always on. I don't know if that's why there's a signal, so that as people are driving on the street to a place they've never seen before, they see that light on, they know the orange light, they know to go in the orange light. Same reason the red lights were on in the red light district, but until everybody in the red light district turned on red lights. I don't know, but I think now's the time to get a hold of Jaquea and interview Jaquea. I think now's all the time, always the time to get a hold of Mr. Freitag, Charles Freitag. There seems to be an exact same Charles Freitag with the same dates of service in the New York PD. It's not that far by helicopter between here and there. Did he have a double life is the question that you have to ask yourself now. And then did Jaquea get Dumbo dropped at the Sprayer address?